Welcome to Central News, I'm Hilary Entwistle. In today's news, a symposium hosted by the Bay of Plenty Regional Council together with Priority One and the University of Waikato was held recently to share information on the latest research in protecting the Tauranga Harbour. There were presentations on the community work and agency projects to improve our harbour and catchment, the latest scientific research on the harbour and catchment, the Tauranga Moana Iwi Collective and, of course, sea lettuce management. Bay of Plenty Regional Council Chairman John Cronin says the symposium showed that the future of the Tauranga Harbour is in capable hands.
The cooperation and the spirit of everybody working together, particularly with iwi working with the other harbour groups. A lot of these groups hadn't worked together before. I didn't even know really that the others existed, and if they do know that they existed, they didn't know who they were. Now they do.
The long hot summer has proved the ideal climate for tomato growing with a bumper crop of sweet ripe fruit. Tomatoes New Zealand Vice Chairman Frank van Rijsen says with tomatoes retailing around $2 a kilo, it's an ideal time to enjoy tomato recipes. He says contrary to some recent media reports that the drought has driven up tomato prices, they are selling for similar wholesale prices to the comparable period last year. A template usable by any business has been designed to aid in the preparation of pollution prevention plans. The template, developed by Tauranga City Council and Bay of Plenty Regional Council, should make it easier for commercial and industrial sites to prepare a pollution prevention plan. Every commercial and industrial site is required to have an environmental management plan that deals with pollution risks. Until now, there has been no set standard beyond the imperative to have a plan. The City and Regional Councils address this by developing the template, which provides a logical structure for people who aren't used to thinking about stormwater pollution. More than 200 people with an interest in Māori economic development have attended 4 hui across the wider Bay of Plenty to contribute to a regional economic development strategy for the Bay of Connections region. The 4 hui were held over recent weeks in Whakatane, Western Bay of Plenty, Taupo and Rosaroa. The hui were designed to gain specific input into the strategy, particularly in relation to potential areas of immediate action. The regional Māori economic development strategy is being developed under the Bay of Connections framework in partnership with Te Puna Kokiri. The strategy is being guided by an advisory group consisting of representatives of Māori business interests across the wider Bay of Plenty and a development team that includes Burl, the University of Waikato and Tahana Limited. Now for our region's weather. Hamilton, showers clearing and becoming fine with a westerly. Your expected high is 22 and an overnight low of 8. Tauranga, showers increasing with fine spells and a westerly. Your expected high is 24 and an overnight low of 12. Just ahead, the Organ Donor Awareness event in Tauranga. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. The Big Thank You car show was held on Saturday at the Strand in Tauranga to raise organ donor awareness. And while it wasn't about the money, they managed to raise $4,600 toward Organ Donation New Zealand. 150 cars entered on the day and 18 girls entered the 1950s pin-up competition. With over 3,000 people attending, it's fair to say it was a successful event. Amy was at the event and tonight we have a special episode to show you the highlights of the day.
Welcome to Central News at the Big Thank You. With me now is 2 of the big organisers of today's event. So Danny, tell me a little bit more for those viewers who are just tuning in about the event.
Yeah, sure, Amy. This event has been held to raise donor awareness in New Zealand. Although we have a very generous population in New Zealand, for some reason we're down on donors, so it's to promote that, just donor awareness, not encouraging people to be donors at all, just encouraging people to talk to their families and make their wishes clear. Also, I want to dedicate some of this, quite a bit of it actually, to the donors of the past and the families. You know, the families have done a tremendous job and a lot of them are here today to see what happens. So all of my friends from all over New Zealand have brought their hot rods along to support this fantastic cause.
And Mel, what is your involvement with the event?
So I am the Communications Advisor for Organ Donation New Zealand and I'm also from a donor family. My brother was a donor, so I guess it's two ply in my
Very close to your heart.
Yes. it
Yeah.
is.
So tell me how much planning has gone into this event today?
Oh, well, a lot of hard work on Danny's part. Danny and his team have just been amazing. They've worked tirelessly for the last few months, so it's been great to be involved in that.
Now you mentioned about the big thank you. That's what this whole event is about today, Danny. So tell me a little bit more about the big thank you.
Okay, the big thank you was the name that we chose. Was for a starter, it was me saying thank you for my family's life back. But also, this isn't the only cause that we will do. We may do organ donor again in 2 years' time. Might do it biannually or something. That's something I need to negotiate with Melanie about. But we're also going to do some other things too. So if anyone gets a hold of us and lets us know what the general consensus is or what people would like us to support. There's a lot of unpromoted organisations out there. Yeah.
And Mel, how are you enjoying the day so far?
Oh, I'll be enjoying the pin-up competition most. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, neither can I.
And also meeting everyone. Loads of people will be coming to see us at Organ Donation New Zealand at our stand, and it's just been lovely chatting and meeting people.
So Danny, tell me about this weather.
The weather, well, this was all planned. Because of all the makeup, you know, the 1950s makeup, we didn't really want too much heat. And the wind, of course, girls always look good in the wind. So this was all planned, it's not an accident.
And how many people are you expecting in total today?
We're expecting of the public between 4,000 and 6,000 people. I'll be very surprised if we don't get at least 4,000.
And who are the main sponsors of this event?
The main sponsors were Petrolhead Magazine, Trelise Cooper, the fashion designer, Caulfield Signs and Graphics, the Teaser Lounge, who's here working tirelessly on the girls' hair and makeup, also Rita Sue Vintage Clothing. They were the main sponsors, Repco and Mothers Polishers and Waxers. But we have had just so much sponsorship, you know, it's just incredible.
So what is the process of getting the perfect match?
The perfect match, Melanie knows more about it than me. Really all I can say is it has to be, it goes on size, blood type, tissue type. Yeah, that's as far as I know.
Yeah, can you tell me a bit more?
That's summed it up nicely.
What helps though, Amy, is if you have the right blood type.
I think that's a very handy,
AB negative.
a handy trick you've
I
got
could
there,
I
Danny.
could have any blood type. So that was very lucky.
And is there anything else you want to add, Mel?
I guess our most important message from today is to encourage everybody to talk to their families about their wishes. At the end of the day, it's going to be your family who are approached in the intensive care unit, so if they know your wishes, then it makes that traumatic situation much easier for them.
Mel, can you tell me a little bit about how this has affected your family?
So, sure, my brother was 22 when he was killed by an out-of-control driver one sunny afternoon in Hamilton, and so I was living overseas at the time, and Mum and Dad went to the intensive care unit and were approached by the intensivist who said that Jared was brain dead and that he could be a donor, and was this something we'd thought of as a family or discussed. And it wasn't something we'd ever discussed, but we saw from his driver's licence that Jared had donor on his licence, so we said, well, sure, that's his wishes, so that's what we'll do.
Now, if someone is wanting to find out a little bit more information about today and about organ donor awareness, how can they?
Well, yeah, we are available to take phone calls, so our number's 0800 4DONOR, or they can look at our website, which is www.donor.co.nz.
Well, there you have it. We've heard from two of the event organisers at today's event. Next up, we hear from one of the major sponsors, Trelise Cooper. Welcome back to Central News. Now, joining me now is the woman behind one of New Zealand's most successful fashion empires, and she's also the lovely sponsor of my beautiful 50s gown today, Trelise Cooper, who is one of today's major sponsors. Now, Trelise, tell me, how did you get involved with today's event?
My friend Danny Saunders had a lung transplant in 2010, and I've known Danny for 12 years through the hot rodding. He sold my husband his first hot rod. And I knew Danny when he was well, and then I watched his decline, and it was really quite harrowing to watch. And he was very, very sick before his transplant happened. So.
And what is your role at the event today?
My role today is to judge the pin-up competition. And I love beauty contests and the iconic 50s pin-up. So I'm excited to see who has entered and how they're going to interpret the brief of 50s pin-up. Yeah, I think it should be good.
So tell me, what are you hoping that people get out of the event today?
I think the thing I'm looking for today is awareness about the decision that you make as a person to tick organ donorship on your licence, that your family knows that you've ticked that and those are your wishes, because ultimately it's your family that makes the decision if something catastrophic happens. And really we want families to know the wishes of their members, so that if they need to make a decision in a really terrible time, they know what to do.
And tell me, what are some of your highlights so far today?
Well, the cars look amazing. There's just an amazing lineup of amazing cars, and actually the women have dressed 50s today, and everybody looks gorgeous. It's really wonderful.
Now, you've got a bit of a competition coming up with the girls, so tell me a little bit about it and why you chose a 50s theme.
Well, the competition is about 50s pin-up, and it really suits what this day is about. It's about hot rods, it's about classic cars, and there are cars from the 30s and 40s, but most of the genre is from the 50s. And 50s cars were sexy, you know, all the Cadillacs, and along with that is the girls that ride in them, and there's something very iconic and fun about the 50s. It's rock and roll, it's big skirts, it's tiny waists, it's red lips, Dita Von Teese, Marilyn Monroe, Gwen Stefani.
It's quite a glamorous era, isn't it?
It's glamorous and fun at the same time.
Yeah. And as a judge, what are you looking for?
I guess I'm going to be looking for who really rocks the look, and who has got the whole look going, from the way they've put the makeup on, the hair, shoes, the dress, the colours, yeah.
So what prizes have you got up for grabs?
Well, we have great prizes today. Well, there's a voucher from me for first prize, and second prize is a voucher from Rita Sue, which is a 50s boutique. There's spot prizes, and there are a couple of random prizes.
Hi Birdie, now tell me, what are you getting done here today?
I'm getting dressed up 1950s for the first time ever.
Oh, awesome.
Helen here's doing my makeup, so yeah, it's a bit of an experience.
Looking very good. And why are you here supporting the event today?
So it's the organ donor awareness. A patient of mine, Danny, has organised it all, and he wrote me in and said, be a pin-up girl. And I was like, okay, I'll be a pin-up girl. So I've got my suspenders.
Wonderful. All dressed up and ready to go.
Yeah, it should be a fun day.
And what are you looking forward to most in the event?
I guess maybe the atmosphere of the crowd and just everyone enjoying what everyone's wearing, and yeah, I think the 50s is a beautiful fashion with all the ladies being ladies, and I think the men and the women love it, and so it should be fun.
Hey Brandy, now tell me, why did you enter the pin-up girl competition today?
Well, we've actually entered a car for today as well, so I just thought it'd be a bit of extra fun for the day and to raise awareness for the organ donors. So, and can you tell me what your highlights so far of the day have been? Just seeing everyone come together for something that's for a good cause. Like there's Beach Hop next week as well, but this is something that's really cool and it's leading up to that as well.
Wonderful. Well, you look absolutely stunning, so all the best for the competition.
Cool, thank you.
And lastly, why are you so passionate about this cause?
Well, this event is to bring awareness so that people talk to their families and let them know their wishes about donating organs. It's also a really big thank you to the families that have donated organs on behalf of their loved ones, and those people who have had that conversation and they knew what to do. And so, you know, it's a really heartfelt day for thank yous and also for understanding the need to talk with your family in case something awful happens.
Thank you so much for coming and having a chat to us, Trelise, and I'll let you get back to your busy day, and I wish the girls all the best for their fashion show. Now, coming up next, we talk to someone in need of a transplant.
Also some spot prizes from Vicky, and the hairdresser is 17, just 17, she looks amazing, and lives in Oamaru. She aspires for any because she made a career
from Whakatane. She's a GP based in Rotorua and got married 3 weeks ago. Ooh. 3 weeks ago to a farmer in Manawahi, which is near Whakatane. And is an excellent actor. Ladies and gentlemen, Bernie Leeming.
Welcome back to Central News. Now, if you're just joining us, we are here at the Big Thank You on the Strand in Tauranga. And obviously this event, which is all about organ donor awareness, wouldn't be necessary without the hundreds of New Zealanders out there waiting for a transplant. So we're going to hear now from two people who are waiting for a transplant. Regan, now tell me a little bit about your story.
Basically, a year and a half ago, I had kidney failure, and so now currently I'm on hemodialysis, and that's a treatment to replace some of what the kidney does, and basically keeps me alive. It's a life support.
So how long might you be waiting for a transplant?
Average waiting time is about 7 years, but because I'm an O blood type, it means that I can give to anybody, but I can only take from an O blood type, so that adds another probably year, so about 7-8 years.
Now, what are you enjoying most about today's event?
Just promotion about donor awareness, and even if people are a donor on their licences, they must tell their family that they want to be a donor, because that can be argued at the time of death. So it's really important to be a lifesaver, get that out there into the community, and help those people in need, because we have over 800 people on the kidney waiting list at present.
Wow. So what is the process of finding the perfect match?
Basically it's about matching, so tissue typing and blood type. The best is from your family, but of course, you know, we have deceased donors, and you can find a match that way as well.
Scott, can you tell me a little bit about your story as well?
Well, it's been a pretty long story, but I went into renal failure when I was 25. I was born with a familial kidney condition, so I always knew that something was going to happen, and went on to dialysis, which kept me alive, and I actually received a transplant about 18 months after that, with my sister donated a transplant, and that failed about 3.5 years ago, and back onto dialysis again. So I'm back in that position again, waiting for another transplant.
So how did you feel with your first transplant?
Well, it's amazing. I mean, obviously with my sister obviously donating and giving it to me, it was an amazing gift, and obviously that freedom of needing constant treatment to stay alive, the gift of having a kidney again, and just being able to just get on with life, really, that freedom was something incredibly special, and created a special bond between me and my sister, you know, it's just an amazing gift.
And how did your sister feel to give such a gift?
Yeah, well, it was obviously something amazing for her as well. I mean, the whole family went through the process of whether they could donate, but she was the best match, and her kidneys were the healthiest, and so it was just a really special time, I guess, for us to go through that. I mean, it wasn't an easy process for her to go through. She still bears the physical scars of doing it, but it still you know, was a special thing that she could do for me. So yeah, we'll share that forever.
So what happens now?
We wait, really, and life goes on. I'm on hemodialysis now, and I'm stable. I still work, and I still, you know, try and not let it restrain me and hold me back, and try and do everything that I can do. But obviously, I'm hoping to receive another transplant. So you know, you do have that freedom from the machine, you know, that you can actually, you know, be a lot. You can do a lot more when you're not tied to having to dialyse every other day, you know. And, so it's a waiting process now until something happens.
And what are you hoping is the key message that everyone takes away from the event today?
Well, it's really just creating more awareness. It's making people aware of the special gift that, you know, if something did unfortunate happen to them, they had an accident or something, just to know that you know, they could be a special gift to other people who are waiting for, whether it be a kidney, a heart, or lungs, or whatever it may be. And just knowing that, you know, if that's what they want to do, then making sure that they, you know, talk to their family about it. So if the unfortunate did happen, that, you know, the family knows what their wishes are.
And what would your highlights be so far?
Oh, the cars, of course. You know, the cars are amazing. You know, just beautiful pieces of art, really. You know, and the love and attention that's gone into the rebuild, and, you know, just, yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Well, that is it for today at the Big Thank You on the Strand in Tauranga. Now we're going to head off and enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you very much for tuning in, and make sure that if you have got any news or photos or footage, go to our website and hit upload, because we really want to hear more from our viewers. So thank you very much for tuning in today. Have a wonderful evening. I'm Amy Forrest. Good night.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.